Hello, everyone, and welcome to CYC's Perspect Yourself. My name is Parthenia and hosting with me today is Moheb Basili, Joseph Hanna, and Gina Shanuda. Before we get on our topic today, I just want to make it very clear to everyone that the opinions and the comments and things that will be said in this episode are of our own, and they're all personal opinions. They are to the best of our spiritual knowledge, but they are not the final word or the last word. So please bear that in mind as we discuss TV today, TV and what we are watching. Before we start, I'd like to begin with a verse, and our verse comes to us from Matthew 6, and it's verse 22 and 23. The lamp of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye is good, your body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in you is darkness, how great is that darkness? So the question really to kick off today's discussion is, what is the purpose of our TV watching, particularly how we go about selecting the shows that we watch? So how do we feel about that? Watching TV, watching anything that's on TV, and what's on TV today? Opinions?
Well, personally, I love TV. I watch TV a lot of great shows out there. However, I think there's a fine distinction between liking TV and what you're watching. So, for example, like
why you're watching.
And why you're watching.
Well, that's a very important question, right? This is our question. Why are we watching what we are watching?
Absolutely. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes it's entertainment. Sometimes it's for information. Sometimes it's I'm bored and I have nothing else to do. But at the end of the day, I think what really matters is what am I watching.
Okay, so what are you watching and why are you watching it?
Okay, so for example, I watch the news. I watch the news so I can become informed about what's going on.
Yeah. Okay, but really,
I love the news.
I'm not talking about the news because...
Okay, the news, you're right. That might be...
We're talking about
a little more controversial.
People are haters here, okay? Haters. I like the Discovery Channel, the History Channel,
No.
Channel.
Let's be honest,
We
though.
only have 10 minutes on the show. We're not here to talk about your...
Tia, you're supposed to be on my side. I think Jersey Shore is a phenomenon on its own. I think everybody watches it and everyone knows what it is.
Okay.
And I think that's very unfortunate and very wrong.
Unfortunate.
You want to know something about Jersey Shore?
Tell me more about Jersey Shore.
Apparently, in a time of chaos in the world...
Chaos.
Egypt
Egypt.
suffering with its revolution. Now,
Revolution.
This is all seriousness now.
Okay.
Egypt with its revolution, and then Libya going down and everything like that. Snooki goes on to say online something about...
This is during one of the episodes.
What?
during one of the episodes,
Yeah.
right? And Jersey Shore. By the way, Snooki's one of the characters.
Cast members, yeah.
One of the most notorious, perhaps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Goes on to say something ridiculous. And apparently the #1 Googled search was what she asked on the show. Everyone was the #1 thing.
That night it happened.
On Google.
It was a legitimate question.
It was not a legitimate question.
We're not here to argue if it was legitimate or
matter
not.
if it
The
was
point
legitimate.
is that's how influential it
Yes,
is, right?
yes,
That's
yes.
what
Because
we're going after
TV
here.
is influential, and we live in a mainstream society where everything we know is on TV, comes from TV. Even if you don't own a TV, you can download it online. Like, everything is accessible to you, no matter what cave you live in, right? So the question is, then, is it okay to just watch anything that's on TV?
No.
Is
Yes.
entertainment for entertainment's sake?
No.
Is that
There's
justifiable?
There's a reason why there's a censorship. There's a reason why when you watch a movie it says PG, rated R. Why do you think they put that on? I mean, if
It's a warning. It's a warning for
it's a
viewers,
warning.
right?
It's the same kind of warning we as Christians have to put on ourselves when we're watching these things also.
Okay, listen, I think, look, you should be able to watch anything and decipher, pick it apart. I'm not saying you gotta, love it off or, you gotta restrict yourself only to some shows. If there's a show that's, say, inappropriate or whatever, you can still watch it for entertainment value. As long as you're not taking that core message and applying it to your life, you can watch something for purely entertaining purposes.
Yeah, you have to be conscious of what you're watching. You know everything you see. I mean, for starters, it's 2011. We know everything out there is not good. That's just the reality of it, right? So you just have to be conscious and say, I know this is right, and I know this is wrong, and this is where I personally, for myself, draw the line.
And white.
No, but more or less, you know what's right, you know what's wrong.
No,
Just because you see something doesn't mean you're going to emulate it, right? So, but if you're right, Mo, I think it entertains you, so you watch it.
Fine.
Even though you know it's stupid and wrong, but
Fine.
it's entertainment.
Okay, but you just said
Why
something.
waste
You
your
know
time?
it's wrong and you know it's silly, but like think about it like this. Like one, like you said, you are wasting time. You could do so many better things. Number two, what about on a subconscious level? What about the things that just become socially acceptable to you as you see it? For example, if I see someone on the show kissing, and I keep seeing that over and over and over and over and over.
You'll normalize it. You'll be like, that's normal to do.
Right?
What's wrong with kissing another individual?
Well, that's why it's
That's
a
not-
person's responsibility. Like,
Yeah, that's not what happens.
No, but it is.
you have
But
to
it is
draw-
absolutely is.
You have to draw the line. At the end of the day, you have to draw a line and think about what
But you lose
just
shock
saw.
value. No, I disagree. If you see someone on the street kissing,
We're
you're like,
just human.
okay, another person kissing.
So?
For example, like if I see murder on the street, I'm going to be like, oh, it's murder, like call 911, right? But if it was something smaller, like I see someone getting punched, and I see that every single day on a show, and I keep seeing it, and I keep seeing it, and I see someone get punched on the street, I'm
But
like,
you know
another person
someone
getting punched.
getting punched is
How is
wrong.
that- how is
You
that-
know it's
I know,
wrong.
that's an
It goes
extreme.
It goes with like what they're wearing, the way they're conducting themselves, the verbal languages that they use. Think about it this way.
The mannerisms?
The mannerisms, for sure. You're watching something all the time, and if that's the way, think about popular slogans, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, t-shirts,
What's wrong with
oh,
that?
yeah.
What's wrong with that?
All right,
I
those
could say
words-
the cabs are here if there's a taxi outside. Is there something wrong? Is somebody gonna come out and
There is no taxi outside, Mo. We all drove here.
Can you bring
I
out
saw
the
you
verse
park.
about the taxis?
No, but
There's no verse.
no, but you're. Let me finish my point.
All right.
All right, you're right. But see, now we all know it, right? We all know that was verse.
Sure.
Okay, but do we all know? But things have progressed in a way that it's not that simple. Like the way you use vulgarity and swear words and music videos that have all that kind of stuff.
But you don't
in
need
them.
to watch TV. I mean, you can just go to school. People swear all the time in school around you.
But where do they get that
You
from?
can,
Where do they get that
TV.
from?
But we're not talking about people. We're
30
talking
years
about
ago,
us. I
30
watch
years ago,
TV.
30 years ago
I-
when TV was more censored, did you hear that kind of language in the schoolyard?
But the point is, okay,
Maybe once
but
in a while.
we're not, but our concern is not what's. But then you're addressing another issue of what's wrong with society. We're not going to talk
No,
about that.
no.
I'm just talking about it as an example, right? People around you swear. People around you dress a certain way. It's all
True.
because of TV. How are you?
But
Just
does
the
that
way,
make it right?
I think
Exactly.
TV is a reflection
point
of
is-
society.
The
I don't
point
think the
is,
other way.
I think it's the other
just
way
as
around.
much as you can differentiate from the people around you, never, you know, it's the same thing with TV. If I'm going to see something, I know that's wrong. I'm not going to do it just because it's on TV. People around me, they do that. I'm not going to do it just because people around me are doing it. It's
right.
the same thing.
If you're easily
We're
swayed,
influenced by it everywhere, so it's not just coming to us from TV. So why not watch it? Because it's entertaining. It's stupid. I can't look away. It's entertaining me. Yeah, you know what? I can't always be punctual. I need some downtime.
Well, why can't we be entertained by something better?
Let's go back to why are we watching what we're watching. We're talking here that it's entertainment value,
Okay.
right?
One of the reasons, yes, is entertainment.
Okay, but you have to also remember why we're here. What our bodies symbolize, right? We are the temple of God, right? I know this is ridiculous, and it goes back to such a Sunday school thing, and when we all had those lovely bracelets that
No,
say
fair enough. Fair enough.
WWJD,
Yeah, I
what
still
would
have mine.
Jesus
What's wrong
do?
with that?
Yeah.
And now we have these other ones right here with all the Jesus pictures. Like, these are all faces, and you're all subjected to society all the time. However, it goes back to how are we respecting God and glorifying His name through what we're doing and what we're saying?
fine. But because I'm a Christian and I wear my WWJD bracelet, doesn't mean, Yanni, like I have to sit at home and like knit things.
No, but
No, but we're not saying
What am I-
extremes here. We're not saying you're allowed to watch everything. Remember the verse we said last time? Everything is lawful, but not everything is righteous. Not everything is for you. It's not helpful, right? And don't we have a Bible quote today? Did we say it?
But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. And again, this comes back to the first part of the verse, which is the lamp of the body is the eye.
Okay, so exactly. So it doesn't say unless you're watching it for entertainment purposes, is it not bad for you, right?
Disclaimer for the
Disclaimer.
Bible.
Yeah, you know what I
Disclaimer,
mean. It
yeah.
doesn't. It's black and white. It's laid out there. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. It'll come into you through your eye, right? So I mean, like, are
There's
we?
no such thing as a portion of your body is black or a portion of your body is white.
What
Unless
if
your
you're-
part, your
Unless
part-
you're,
That's
unless you're
racist,
tanning, it
guys.
might be.
That's
Unless
racist.
you're tanning, sometimes.
Some people.
Sometimes it's darker.
We're not talking
Yeah.
about any of that stuff, right? Like if something is filled with darkness, there's no light in it, right? It's that simple. There's no such thing as there's light and darkness in one place.
I just think that's a little hard to do when
I'm not
it
saying
can be
it's
controlled
easy.
in,
It's a
in
bit-
other
yeah.
aspects
But
of
there is-
society.
Can you
so
even-
But
Can
there's
you
something
that's
called
the thing.
moderation within yourself, right?
But then that means we
Within
can watch
yourself, you can-
some
Yeah,
bad
you
things
can-
and not.
But nothing
No,
is.
no.
So what are we?
No.
What
So-
look, even let's assume in a magical world we could get away from it all. Can we really?
Yeah.
Because look at all the billboards and the
human,
magazines.
And
But those
we
billboards-
have lustful thoughts. Like, this is natural for humans to
Okay.
have.
Okay,
Some of
those
us are
billboards,
perfect.
those billboards and those magazines.
Putting it out there.
Let me tell you something. Coming from a business background, those billboards and those magazines are there for us because of what we like and what our preferences are. And our preferences and what we like are the things we watch. It's a reflection of what we watch. So if we stop watching things like Jersey Shore, for example, if we stop watching other shows, those billboards and those shows and posters and whatever, those will come down too. If we all watch the Discovery Channel 24/7, I guarantee you something. Driving down the highway, you'd see a giant whale and be like, Whale Thursdays on, on the
Those are, by the way.
Shark Week. I love Shark Week.
Yeah.
But like those are the things that like it's a reflection. It's a business at the end of the day. So if we commercialize these things which are inappropriate, that's what's going to be reflected to us on a daily basis. Billboards, magazines, TV, radio, et cetera, all these other mediums, advertisements on Facebook, what little kids are wearing. They're wearing T-shirts that say it's T-shirt time. Okay, they may not understand what T-shirt time is, but then that's an advertisement for other kids. They're going to go and watch Jersey Shore. And they
there's
might not,
other messages in there that are quite corruptive on their own.
right?
There are special, never mind.
There's some
But what are they
some
saying?
situations, if you will,
What
that
is
are
it saying,
inappropriate.
though? It's like saying, okay, it's okay to go to youth group from 8 to 10 on Friday and then hit up the bar from 10 to 12 and then Saturday club district, but Sunday we're at church.
That's right.
Those are the messages we're kind of giving out by being okay with doing and watching what they're saying. We're normalizing it, and that's the danger in it, I think.
So then the question is, ignorance bliss? Or are we just better off not being aware of that? We cut it off from
Absolutely
ourselves?
not. Absolutely not. I think we need to know what's out there, and we need to be educated about what's out there. And we need to know not just that it's wrong, but we need to know why it's wrong. We need to understand why it's wrong, and we need to accept why it's wrong.
But don't you think part of getting there is actually seeing it?
No,
We
well, I
need
mean,
to see what's out there and
well,
why it's wrong?
okay, I mean, I'll give you this illusion, if you will. We all know about the 16th Chapel, right? One of Da Vinci's greatest works, like, one of the 7 wonders, whatever it is. I've never been there, but I know a lot about it.
Okay.
Right? So it's the same thing with a show like Jersey Shore. I might not have had to watch it, but I know a lot about it.
Okay, fair enough. So obviously, Mo and I here are of differing opinions from
Because you guys are wearing
Gina.
red, the color of the devil.
Absolutely.
That's
That's
right.
what we
Blue
thought
is a
I'm
color.
just
Oh,
kidding.
that's a little biased. But
That's a little too much.
I'm just
I
kidding.
think,
to some level-
to be fair then, I think in the end we actually have to come back to the final word, which has to go to the Bible, right? And Mo, we have to admit too, we all have our opinions, right? And like I said, these are all personal opinions, but I've got to bring it back to Matthew and see what Matthew says. Again, just so if I can read that again, it's the lamp of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye is good, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. So I think that's very clear about who's right or who's wrong in this.
But it's not about what's right and wrong only. You
It's
have to
not about
remember
right or wrong. It's a matter of spiritually, what's the ultimate goal here?
What's our
what's-
ultimate goal?
As Christians,
right?
yeah,
can't
what
speak
should
on
we be
behalf of
doing
everyone.
as Christians, as examples for Christianity in the world? And I'll have to admit, you make some good points, and I think you guys will come closest to this side. Your side comes closest to the verse.
Fine, you're
so,
closer to the Bible, so.
I
I know what T-shirt time is. Yeah.
Don't we all?
I do too.
But we hope you guys have enjoyed our discussion, and we'll see you next time.